What's going on? I'm with Naeem. He's a 19-year-old entrepreneur running this 6-figure Turo business. Naeem, in your own words, can you explain what Turo is?
So Turo basically is a platform where you can rent a car from your own house and have the car delivered right to you, and where you don't have to go through the hassle of signing a contract or anything, just on through your phone, go through an app, pick what car you want, and you can get it delivered right to your door from anywhere from a Lamborghini to any type of car, Tesla, G-Wagon, or even just a Honda.
So I think I'm ready to go inside and see how everything works on the app.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So Turo is an app for renting your own cars. How would you go about listing your first car?
So if you wanted to list your own car, you just go on Turo, under host, and you'd add a car. And the cool thing about Turo is you don't have to have the car owned outright. It could be financed or leased or anything. So first you would have to put an address of where the car would be located if someone wants to pick it up.
Okay.
And then as well as put the car's VIN number to make sure that the car qualifies. You can't have any rebuilt titles or any type of cars with big accidents on there, just for safety reasons. So you just kind of go through and put like your spec of your car, make sure you say you pay taxes on it. So
Yeah.
now it's gonna tell you if your car's eligible. So once you get this, that means your car is ready to be posted on Turo, and the next process just takes 2 to 3 minutes. So the next questions are pretty simple, like what is your primary financial goal for sharing your car? People do it to cover their payments, generate side income, expand an existing business, build a primary source of income. Honestly, whatever you put here doesn't really matter. It's just more about, they just kind of want your car to be rented more if you want it rented more, or kind of try to see what benefits you the best. Here you kind of have to just put the advance notice of how quick you want your car to be picked up.
Yeah.
So it's either you can have your car picked up within an hour. So that means someone can rent the car right now for 12:30 and the car has to be ready.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about that?
So we usually do 3 hours just because, especially having all the cars at the office, it's kind of a headache to just run back and forth. I live 20 minutes away, so if there's a car here, having to get here, stop what I'm doing, clean it and stuff. So we usually put 3 hours. So we'll put 3 hours there, and then minimum trip duration. So 1 day. For some of the cars, like we have a Honda Elantra, we like to put 3 days because it doesn't make sense for us to clean the car for $30.
Oh yeah.
So
it's such a low amount.
Yeah. So, but with like any other car, the Teslas, the Lambos and stuff, 1 day is still worth it.
So how much is it to rent out a McLaren or a Lambo?
So usually with Turo, we charge for our McLaren $9.99 on Turo, and that's on the lower end just because Turo does take a lot of fees.
Oh, okay.
So we charge $9.99. By the time you go to checkout, you'll be paying like $1,600. So that's kind of why we had to price it lower, because if we had it priced at what we want for it, then no one would ever rent it because they're gonna be paying almost $2,000.
So talk a little more about the fees.
So Turo has different types of fees. Turo has fees for young drivers. They have their insurance fees, but you could also use your personal insurance if you show proof of that.
Yeah.
Instead of paying for insurance with Turo. They also take a percentage of what your car makes. So we have an 80-20 split with all of our cars, which is a $750 deductible. There's no rental reimbursement or anything, and they don't pay you for how long the car's out. You could also do a 75-25 split, which is what we recommend for anyone that kind of wants to start and kind of wants to, start with a few cars, which is a $250 deductible. They do give you rental reimbursement, as well as they do also cover if your car been rented for the last 3 months, only 20 days out of the month, they'll pay you those 20 days just for the car being lost.
And you're talking about how you wanted to transition off of Turo, right?
Yeah, so right now we're trying to do mostly private clients. Turo does bring in a lot of clientele, and with Vegas being such a hot city, most of the people that come here come very often.
Yeah.
So we kind of build a relationship with clients. We like to kind of build relationships. If they want a dropped off car, we usually do charge, but if it's a client that we want to build a relationship with, we'll just go and do it. Or if they want to drop off the car early, pick up the car early and stuff, we kind of like work with them just so we could lock in a client. Or even if you just come here, you're renting our Supra and you want to take a look at the Lambo, we'll let you turn it on and stuff.
And then you mentioned the insurance for Turo. Can you elaborate a little more on that?
So Turo insures all our cars 100% just with the deductible. Even if the person that drove the car didn't insure the car through Turo, they still have to pay out for us. Usually, I have an example here. We went to get a car, one of our cars got hit by a tow hitch and our front grille got messed up. We got quoted $1,200. Turo only paid out $700.
Oh, wow.
we kind of like went back and forth with them. So they ended up paying, I think it was $1,050, and the shop was okay with that. So they met in the middle. So we ended up still paying for our deductible, but everything else was covered by Turo.
Okay. And I heard that Turo's a little tight with their insurance. So you mentioned that the scratch has to be longer than 4 inches or 4 inches in order for you to actually get a payment from Turo.
Yeah, so if you have any minor curb rash, even if you have like a little scratch on the car, if it's not big enough, I think it has to be bigger than a quarter in like width, and then like longer than 4 inches, some big like scratch or something. That's the only way they'll actually reimburse you for it.
Yeah.
And if not that, and then sometimes even with like our $750 deductible, if we get a dent on the door, $750, we probably just
you guys have to put out. Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense, because Turo would pay out probably nothing just because the deductible is so high. So that's the only kind of thing with Turo. You do have to not.
The insurance is not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys are using them for insurance, right?
We are.
What are the fees associated with using Turo insurance?
So Turo has 3 different types of insurance plans when you rent a car. You have basic, you have low, and then you also have premium insurance, which means that whatever happens to the car, no matter what, they're only paying like a certain amount of money, and that's it.
And then what about for you guys?
So we just have the different profit splits with them, which kind of just gives us a different insurance.
Oh, okay. So depending how much you want to pay in Turo fees is how much you get for insurance.
Exactly.
Okay. So talk about the Tesla that you bought and you sold it for like an extra 8 or 10K profit after renting it on Turo.
So we bought a Tesla back in August of 2021, and we bought it for $50,000 after taxes and everything. We rented it out for over 6 months. We made about $11,000, $12,000 in those 6 months on the car, and I actually have the check right here. So after all the fees and after everything, after insurance that we paid on the car, we probably made around $8,000 on the car in 6 months, and we got to drive it as well. So my first goal when I started Turo was I wanted one car to pay for my other car.
Yeah, exactly.
So you buy one car that rents out, and then buy your dream car, and then have that one car that gets rented out to pay for both.
But yeah, so with Turo, that's a really great way to essentially get a free car and have that car pay for itself. And then when people aren't renting it, then you can just drive it yourself.
It's your personal car.
It's your personal car.
Exactly. So with most of our cars, like our supercars that we do have, those cars aren't rented out like other cars. They probably get rented out 12 to 15 days out of the month, so you still have half the month with the car.
Yeah.
And with those cars, 2 to 3 rentals in a month, you get your monthly payment on.
So what kind of expenses come with Turo? Do you guys pay any marketing fees? What kind of fees are you guys paying?
So the cool thing about Turo is we don't have to pay for any marketing, since Turo markets a brand already.
Yeah.
Which is why we're still on Turo for our private, and that's why we build relationships. We do here and there spend for shout outs from other big pages or from influencers, but we also like to give a card to an influencer for free for a shout out, and it kind of just helps each other out. So our marketing expense isn't that much. I'll probably say $1,000 a month.
Just for the shout outs?
For shout outs or Instagram posts or just things like that,
Yeah.
We don't really market ourselves that much just because Turo markets most of our cars for us.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of word of mouth here too. So Vegas is so small, you know, we have friends that are hosts, we have friends that do this and that, and we'll just, oh, you need a car? I know someone will go.
Yeah. That makes sense. It really helps out with the exotics, right? Because you guys are entrepreneurs. You have a really big entrepreneurial audience. So when they see that you guys are renting out these exotic cars, then you're gonna get clientele.
Yeah. Our expenses are, we do have car insurance. You know, the cars all have to be insured.
Okay, so you have to have your own personal insurance, plus you have to have the Turo insurance on top of it?
Correct. So Turo insurance just comes with the profit split. So when you apply for Turo, the insurance just automatically applies when you post the car, and then the profit split comes.
Would the insurance be more if you guys didn't have all these cars? You have 15 cars.
Yeah, no, 100%. If we didn't have, the more cars we add, the more it lowers other cars' values and stuff when it comes to insurance. So having 15 cars on the policy definitely helps out the $285 premium.
Yeah.
Because I think we would definitely be paying at least like $500 a month for that car if we only had 2 to 3 cars on the policy.
Oh, yeah, so the more cars, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So is there any risk with Turo? What would you say the risks are?
The risk would just be your car being completely totaled or damaged, but Turo would definitely pay out for that after your deductible. But besides that, I mean, if the car does get stolen or something, Turo will definitely help you out. All our cars have trackers.
Oh, wow.
As well as all our cars have...
That's something that you guys got yourselves, right? So the trackers?
We put trackers on all our cars. We also have kill switches on all our cars, as well as...
Oh, wow.
If people want to do burnouts and stuff, it'll tell us that the engine is being excessively abused.
Wow.
Any car that goes over 100 miles per hour, we get notifications.
Wow.
And if you want something simple too, too. We also have air tags in all our cars. So the Apple air tags. So if you
Oh,
just
yeah,
go and
yeah.
find my friend, you can just see your car.
Naeem, thank you for sharing how to run a successful Turo business. If you guys want to follow Naeem on Instagram, you can reach him at Naeem Garcia. We're going to put that on the screen. But I think the real question that the audience wants to know is, how much do you really make a month on Turo?
So averagely, we make around $40,000 to $50,000 gross, and then after profit, we'll probably take home around 35-ish.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
5 months.
Let's go. Is there anything else you want to say, Naeem?
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are ever in Vegas and need a car, feel free to DM me, or we'll have a website down below. You guys can rent a car from us.
Let's go.
Ready for a ride?
Let's go for a ride.